What's up, Repto fam? So today is about these little insects called Dubia roaches. So I have a small little colony right here. We have babies growing in here, but we're gonna upgrade this today. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to set up your guys' Dubia roach colony in this video. Why pick Dubia roaches? First off, they don't make noise. Second off, they don't smell. Thirdly, they're like one of the best insects to feed your reptiles. They have the best like nutrients. You can gut load them really easily and well. And then also their fat content is super low. So these insects are great for your reptiles. And I'm gonna bring you guys along in this video on how to set up your guys' Dubia roach colony. The other question you might have for this video is, why don't I just buy my own Dubia roaches, feed them off, and then buy more? So Dubia roaches are very expensive. They can be all the way up to $1 per roach. And when you're feeding your lizard several roaches per day, it adds up, and then you're constantly ordering them. I also wanted to let you guys know, you guys do not need a glass aquarium. That's just what I have. You can use a tote or anything. Basically, they can't climb up anything that's slippery, so you don't even need a lid on this thing if you don't want to. It's better not to have a lid on it. Reason for that is because they want airflow, and so you certainly can poke a bunch of holes in it and have a lid on it. But you know, if you have a relatively warm area, I just let the top open, yeah, they can't get out, they can't fly, they can't do anything, so they will stay in here. In fact, you need to make sure that your water dish has a little bit of grip on it. Otherwise, even the water dish, they won't be able to get into the water or the food, and you'll be stuck with a problem. So first off, heat is super important for these Dubia roaches. They like to be around the 70 to 90 degrees. So how are we gonna heat these things? Are we gonna use a heat bulb? I don't really like heat bulbs for Dubia roaches. It seems like it just dries up different areas, and you know, since it's cardboard in there, fire starting hazards and stuff, I'm not a huge fan of it. So anyways, what we're using is like this. Basically, this is a whole entire wrap. It's just a heated wrap, essentially. So we're gonna put this all the way around this cage and tape it onto different spots. Next step, we introduce the egg flats. So these things you can buy on Amazon. They're super cheap. They're just called egg flats. So we're gonna be taking these apart and basically stacking them vertical in here all the way throughout this whole entire thing. So these egg flats are just basically gonna be little ledges for them to sit on, and they just, you know, it's just really easy to have a whole bunch of them in here. So we're gonna be stacking this whole cage full of egg flats and getting it all prepared. Another thing you want to do when you're installing your egg flats is you want to put them against each other like the opposite way, not like, so you see how these ones are like stuck together? We want to turn these guys around and put them in like this. So now we're going to have a bunch of little crawly spaces between these guys, and it's not going to be able to smash them. So that's basically how you want to put them. Up next, we're going to talk about humidity and water. So water is super important with these. Like all bugs, they can drown in water super easy. So these things are called water crystals. You can buy these on Amazon. But basically, it's like a crystal thing. It's hard when you put it in, and then you put water in it, and they swell up and they hold water. So the insect can walk across it, drink out of the water dish, and then get off without drowning. So we're going to add some of these to this dish right here. I'm going to tilt it down a little bit. So we're gonna add only a little bit to the dish, and you're gonna see why here in a second. So we're basically just gonna coat the bottom of the dish with these things. We don't wanna go too crazy because these things really swell up. So we have a nice little coating across the bottom. Next up, before we add our water into the container, we're going to add our insects. So, zoom this camera out a little bit, and we're gonna pull out our first collection of Dubia roaches. These ones are my first set of adults. We're just blending everything together because it doesn't really matter. But see, if you look at these, look at all those baby Dubia roaches. We got babies everywhere. Like literally, oh my gosh, there's so many babies. So this is just some of them. We look down and we have these little babies everywhere. They kind of just reproduce very quickly once they get going. They do take like 6 months to get going. Once they hit their 6-month period though, and they start reproducing, that's what you gotta do. You gotta wait 6 months. 6 months of being patient from baby to full adult. So half a year. But once you get them, you got them. So we're gonna be adding all of these into here. All the babies. They like to cling on, especially the baby ones. All right, so we're gonna sex a Dubia roach right now. So if we look at this one is moving around, okay. So this one right here is moving around my hand. You can tell that if we hold it like this, it has wings. So this is a male. Now I'm gonna hold a female up right next to you. Oh man, there's tons of them in here. This right here, let's see if it'll focus. Come on, focus. So male with the wings, female with no wings. You won't really know if it's a male or a female until it gets a little bit older, because they all kind of just look the same for a while. And then once they get older, then like you can tell pretty easily. Why is that important? So you want about 5 males to about 20 females roughly. If you have a couple more, it's not a big deal. But if you're starting small, try to get like 5 males to like 15 females or 20 females or something like that. That's like a good ratio, because if some of the males die, you still have enough to keep reproducing them, making them fertile. Here is what our setup looks like. We have all of them stacked sideways here, and then we have a topper one. This is where we're gonna be putting our food and stuff. So another topper one, and then all of them stacked sideways. So they're gonna be able to climb down, utilize a ton of space in here. I think they're gonna make a absolute ton of babies. They already have, but this setup's gonna make them go like super crazy. So that's how we have it set up. Now what we can do is we can take our water. We're gonna put our water back here in the corner. So they're gonna be able to drink out of those crystals, not drowned, and that's gonna be good. What do Dubia roaches eat? So now this is super important, and it's super simple. So we have carrots, this is not oatmeal, but you should use oatmeal. This is just like a granola. I didn't have oatmeal, so something with oats. They do really good on oatmeal, carrots, and last one is oranges. So their diet is super, super simple. So we're gonna install this stuff. And then we're just gonna throw some carrots in here. Just drop some carrots in around the area. And bam, that's literally it. The water will last for quite a while before it runs out, but you just wanna make sure that it stays on. So that's what we have there. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it one step further. So we want to add more moisture in here, because remember that humidity is a super important thing. So we want to keep our humidity around 40 to 60% at minimum. So we want to keep it pretty humid in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over, and I have a sprayer. I'm going to spray this cage. All right, so I have a powered sprayer right here. This is just simply way easier than anything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to just spray this cage down, get some moisture down there. The only thing that we don't want to spray is obviously the food. So let's keep the food dry. We're going to spray this pretty well. We want the humidity in here, and they're going to be really, really, really happy with this. So we just spray this cage down really well, and that humidity is going to run down into the cage, and it's going to keep it super, super humid. So if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and if you guys want to see the progress of the Dubia roaches and my entire basement zoo, because that's what we're in right now, is my basement zoo, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on these videos if you guys like this kind of stuff, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace! Subscribe, check out our other videos, and comment your favorite reptile down below. Once again, have a great day.